Hello, welcome back to Ginny's, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make strawberry cupcakes. So I have wanted to do strawberry for a while now without using a flavouring inside. I really wanted to have it all natural. So I've managed to do that. I'm really happy with it. So with this, I'm making them as cupcakes today. All of my sponges can be also used for cake as well. So what I will do is put a layer, an 8-inch, one layer sponge recipe also in the description box, which is here. You see a little arrow, click that, the recipe will come down, you get the recipe for the cupcakes, and then underneath one sponge layer for 8-inch, and then if you want 2 or 3 or 4 layers, just multiply it by as many as you need. So I'm going to move you because to begin with we are going to tackle the strawberries. So I will be back with you once I've moved my camera around. Okay, so I've got a pan here on the heat. I'm only on a medium heat, mine goes to 9 and I've got it on 6. Then I've got 350 grams of frozen strawberries and I'm going to put those in there. Now because they're frozen, they've got their own water in there, so I haven't had to add any, so I do recommend the frozen ones. And I'm just going to leave these on and keep stirring them around while the water comes out and just keep going around. This is going to be quite a long process, but it is really worth it, and you can do this in advance and then freeze it up. So I'm going to come back to you once this has melted down a little bit. Right, this has been going for about 5 minutes now, and as you can see it's got quite a lot of fluid there in the bottom, and that's good. They are defrosting nicely. The fluid in them has stopped them from burning, so I'm just going to leave them there now. We need all that liquid to just disappear completely and the strawberries to come down as a mush really. So that's going to take probably about another 5 to 10 minutes on a medium heat. Okay, after 5 minutes it's come right like liquid. So what I've done now is I mushed it all down and then I've just turned it up now to the highest just to boil it away. Right, we are getting there. So through my steam, I don't know, if I lift it off you can see a bit better. When I scrape across the top it does try and stick to the bottom. So make sure that you do go in every 2 minutes and just stir that around and scrape the bottom bit, because you don't want all of that sticking to the bottom. But we are nearly there. Keep going. Okay, I'm done. So let's lift this off so I can show you exactly what this looks like, getting rid of the steam. So there we are. And it's turned into like a really thick paste. So I know it doesn't look overly appetizing for the moment, but that there is exactly what we're looking for. So it's fairly thick, as you can see. So we're going to put that now into a bowl, and then we're going to get on with the cake. And when this is cooled, I'll show you what we're going to do with it. Right, okay, so my strawberry stuff, which is what I've called it because I don't know what else to call it. So my strawberry stuff is completely cool because it's the next day, and as you can see, I have different clothes on. So this is how it is. It's really, really thick, and if you taste it, it's almost too strong, and that's what we want, because then you can add that smaller amount and get that really impactful flavour in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make up these cupcakes. I am going to put all the ingredients in this little triangle thing. So there's a triangle here, hit that, the drop box will come down and the whole recipe and everything will be in there. So don't panic if you don't get me what I'm saying. So we're going to begin the way we always do. So I've got 180 grams of butter, and that's unsalted. I use stork, but you can use regular butter, or you can use other baking margarines. Just make sure that it's soft enough to touch. And in with the white sugar, again 180 grams. With me, everything's always the same, and my base of cupcakes is normally always the same as well. So we're going to put this on, and this needs to be really, really aerated, light and fluffy, and that is where the air is going to come from in our cupcake. So I'm going to put this on now for around about 3 minutes. I'm going to stop and scrape down halfway through, and I'll be back to you. Medium to high speed. There we go. So this is mine, so I'll show you that there. It looks really, really fluffy. almost mousse-like there, and that's what we want, and that's really important because that's our bit of air for our cupcakes, as I said. So now we're just going to add everything else into this. So then I've got 3 eggs and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. The vanilla really brings out the strawberry, so I really want that in there. I use a vanilla extract, which is what you need to use. Always check your vanilla, maybe try it, see how strong it is. Every extract is different, even though they say the same thing, they are different. So, right, then I've also got 180, funnily enough, of plain flour, a teaspoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of bicarb. And then that's going to go in. Right, I'm going to give this a little go round before I add the strawberry stuff. Okay. So I don't want it to go too much because we don't want to over whisk this. So that'll do. That's enough just to, it looks disgusting in there, the eggs aren't dissolved, combined or anything. Right, then I want 2 tablespoons of this strawberry. So 1. And 2. And the rest will be held back for the buttercream. Right, there we go. So we don't need that anymore. Right, then we're just going to put this back on really, really low and leave it for around about 30 to 40 seconds while I get all the rest of the stuff in. You can see it combining, it looks really good. Right, and then I'm going to pipe mine in. Scissors. Right, this is completely incorporated. Right, let's just wipe this down. There we go. Get rid of that. And then make sure this is scraped. Now I had the creaming paddle there, which I love them, but just want to really make sure that it's all completely combined in there. So maybe do it for about 20 seconds, scrape down the bottom and then put it back on. You don't really want it going for more than about 40 seconds. Right, so this is what mine looks like. And we are going to pour it. I've just got a jug here with a piping bag. And I'm just going to pour it straight into this. Now I like to do it this way because then I can really see that I'm going to get even cupcakes. But you can put it in with a spoon. I'm just trying to show you how you can get everything the easy way. Right. Well, we don't want to go banging it about or anything, we don't want to knock the air out. So I'm just holding it, get rid of the jug, bring these in, and then just chop. You want about an inch because you don't want to force this out, it just needs to come out. So there we go. Right, and then you do the same for everything. So push down and around and lift. 3/4 full, down and around and lift. And you can visibly see then how much is in each. I'm doing the same motion with every one. Really helps, and you can then measure it out by yourself by just doing the same thing. Push down and round and lift. So my oven is preheated there to 160 on a fan, and that is 180 on a regular. Now, sorry, I'm concentrating. If you haven't got a oven thermometer, I really, really recommend it. They're fab, and every oven operates differently, and it's really good. I don't go by my gauge on there, I go by the thermometer on the inside. So, right, there we go. So, I can see there that they are all the same. There we are. And they're going to go into the oven for anything between 18 to 20 minutes. My oven normally takes around about 18 to 19 minutes. So I will be back to you when we get them out. See you in a moment. Okay, so whilst they are in the oven, let's go on with the buttercream. Because I'm going to whip this so much, I like to pop it into the fridge just for about 20 minutes before we're going to use it. So here is my butter. Now my butter is, I can push into it like this, but it's not oily, and that's the way you want it to be. Now, I am using unsalted butter. If you don't like it as sweet, you can do half salted, half unsalted. The salt in it kind of takes away some of that harsh sweetness. I quite like it sweet, so I'm not going to. Also, my butter does not have oil in any of the ingredients. Really important, look at the back of your block of butter. If it has oil, especially in the heat, you're going to struggle. The reasons for that are, when you look at oil, it's liquid at room temperature, so the minute you take it out of the fridge, that liquid part wants to go sloppy, because that's what it is, and that's not going to help you, especially in the hot months. So try and make sure, especially when it's hot, that you do not have oil in your butter. Also, if you're colouring your buttercream, and I see a lot of people say, why is it split? And why does it look so odd? If you are using a water-based colouring, which most of them are, and you put that into a butter with oil in it, imagine putting water into oil or vice versa, it doesn't combine, and that's the reason why you're splitting. So oil can actually be a real pain with buttercream. Right, I'm using balloon whisk just to whip this up. So we need to whip this up. I like to let it go for 10 minutes, and I'm going to get it to go for 10 minutes. I'll stop every 2 and scrape back down, but we're going to get this so light and fluffy. So 10 minutes on the machine, and I will be back, or in the cleverness of filming, like now. Right, my timer just went off. Let's get the cupcakes out. Right, here they are, and they look fab. Lovely flat tops the whole way through, springy to the touch, so I know they're done. You can also put a knife in, and if it comes out clean, but just when you touch them, they should feel springy. So that took 18 minutes for mine, so I'm just going to leave those there for the moment, and I'll take them out and put them onto the baking tray in a moment. Right, so this has been going for 10 minutes. Let's show you. So it's gone really light and fluffy. It doesn't even really resemble butter anymore. It almost looks like buttercream all on its own. So that is fab, and exactly the way we want it to be. So now that's going to dissolve that icing sugar so well. So I'm going to add the icing sugar now in on the lowest speed, because we've got a lot of air in there now. I'm going to add it on low in 3 puffs. So there we go. First, get a tea towel, because you are going to end up looking like a ghost. Take your paddle now. Now I have a cream and paddle, so I don't have to keep stopping and scraping down, but I will let you know when to scrape down. So put this over the top on the lowest speed, and we're just going to let that combine. Just, get rid of that one. Right, I've taken the tea towel off because I'm happy. I'm having a look at that, and it's coming together really nicely. And that's all I want. There we go, it's just combined, like that. And then I'm going to add the next lot. There we go. Again, tea towel over the top. I just got icing sugar all over my tea towel. There we go. Right, over there again. Back on slow. And the slow is just really going to help to knock out any big air pockets that we've got in there. Right, so happy again with that. And that's combining lovely. Now I'm going to add some vanilla. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla in there. And that really pulls out the flavour of that raspberry? Of the strawberry stuff, not raspberry. Okay, last lot. Lovely. And again, on low, just until combined. There we go. Right, so now you want to stop and scrape. Just all around the outsides, all across the bottom. It is going to be claggy, so this is what mine is like. It is claggy at the moment, don't worry about that. Right, it's all scraped. We know that we've incorporated all of that icing sugar. Now we're going to add our strawberry stuff. So another 2, really what's left in the bowl, and it works out exactly. So the remainder of what you've got, in it goes. Now, we never added any sugar or anything to it, and the reason being for that is we were just looking for the intense flavour. Put this back on low. We were just looking for that really intense flavour. We didn't want to, we're adding it to sugar anyway, so that's where all the sweetness is going to come from. So we're going to leave that low. Now we're going to take these out of the tin and put them onto our baking sheet just to cool. If you leave them in the tin too long, then they can peel away. Another reason for peeling, there's too much moisture in your recipe, you've taken them out the tin too quickly. You're looking around about a minute really to take them out of that tin. If you don't, they sweat, and the moisture makes the cupcakes peel, and it's really moisture that does that. And also, if you put your buttercream on too quickly on the top of your cupcake, when it's still a little bit warm, it alters the temperatures again and you get peelage. So, just a few tips. Right, I'm going to leave this now 5 minutes and just let it go round and round, and we will come back to it. So I'll see you soon. Right, so that's been going. Now it is quite wet, and don't worry, the reason for that, it looks really wet, but we have whipped it so much, as you saw at the start, just to make sure everything combined so nicely. So, and then we'll put the strawberry stuff in. So it looks, I'll show you, there we go. So it does look wet, but this needs to go into the fridge now for about 20 minutes, just to allow that butter to come back up a little bit, because we've almost melted it by whipping it so much. So that's the reason. So let's put this into a tub, cover it with cling film, pop it in the fridge, wait for the cakes to cool, and in about half an hour to an hour we will pipe. So I want to really make sure it's warm outside, and I really want to make sure those cupcakes cool as well before I add that on top. So I'm going to put this in the fridge for anything between half an hour and then half an hour, 40 minutes, and then we'll come back. So I will see you soon. Right, so we have our cupcakes here, and I have just decorated 2 there for you. So I am using the round one. I don't actually know what this is called. It's a 2. 2A? Yeah, there you go, looks like a 2A. So we're going to decorate these up now. So I'm just going to put blob down through the middle and push that out, and then build up on top of that. Okay? So maybe I should bring you in a little bit closer so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so there's the one we've just done, and then you can put strawberry in the top, like I have done with those. Try and do them all around the same way, so that they look uniform. So there we go. Let's do another one of these so you can see. Alright, so you push down into the middle, and then just you're kind of shoving it out a little bit, not pushing, I'm not putting any more in, and then push again, around, push down and lift off. Okay? Then I've got a little bit of biscuit, so we put a little bit of biscuit in that one. That's a jammy dodger. What, like a jammy dodger? Right, so push, give it a swirl out, and there we go. do a couple with the biscuits and then we'll be done. So this is such a nice recipe, and I did add a little pinch of salt at the end as well. You'll see everything in the ingredients. Look in the box under here and you'll see exactly what I put in. Just, it made such a difference, that tiny little bit. It's very sweet. There's a lot of icing sugar gone into this. There we go. And back in with another bit of biscuit. So, there we are. There are my strawberry cupcakes, completely artificial free. They're all fresh ingredients, so I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you soon. Take care, bye bye.